I purposely do this video as soon as possible after I read through an article. I think this article has been shared by many senior lawyers and young lawyers, including my peers in social media, especially Facebook, these few days. After 48 hours, I read through this article. I called up my peers, my friends in this legal industry, or who used to work in this legal industry, including my lawyer inside my firm. So I found that there are some things that we have to do more in legal industry. After I read through the article, actually the most catchy words pop up from my mind is toxic culture. Any young lawyers, they use the word toxic cultures. I think that this word is very heavy for us to do some self-reflections, especially for founders in any legal firms or partners in any legal firm. It's something for us to do some things. In these particular videos, I just gather whatever I have and I categorize them in two parts. There's employer perspective and employee perspectives regarding the young lawyers nowadays, how they look at the younger generations right now. So let's say after you listen to what I say, the points that I gather so far, if you have more, please list down below, because to me, I think that it's time for me as a founder to do something more to retain the young lawyer in our legal industry, because we really need new bloods and we need somebody to do more in legal profession. No matter ChatGPT is coming out, or IT, or whatever AI is going to replace us. Some of the young lawyers, they keep on mentioning about this, but I feel that that is too negative and that is too far away, because even ChatGPT, they clearly stated that human emotional is something that they couldn't replace. So for us, legal profession is something about soul and mind all the times. We have to serve with all walks of life of people. So this is a great thing for us, because that it is so difficult for us to be replaced by AI in the future. So basically, to me, is that we have to do something more in legal profession, and we shouldn't be so negative to look at our own future in this legal industry. But no matter how, these few years, including these 10 years, I become a co-founder of William Forens and Partners for almost 1 decade. Every time when we have gatherings among my friends, among my peers, for all those lawyers, we will just always focus about the topics about marketing, the area of laws, the needs of the public. There is something that is like none of us really care about what's the young lawyers needs and what's the young lawyers want. There's the 2 points I will mention. The first point just I mentioned is employer have to always ensure and tell the young lawyer that, look, our legal industry is quite different. It is irreplaceable by AI. And the second thing is, I really do hope that maybe my circle of friends is a bit small. The most important thing is I found that we actually have to spend more time among the founders and the managing partners in legal industry to really sit down and discuss about that. What happens to the young lawyer nowadays, why they feel so toxic in our culture? Because, okay, the third point is something that I want to highlight, that stress, it comes in all the way. Regardless in which industry, whatever you do, as far as you are a human being, you will feel stress. So most of the time, how to handling stress, how to handle the stress is something that I think that every legal firms, especially employer, we have to care about employee more, especially young lawyers, to talk to them, to communicate with them. At the same time, to even do some awareness campaign inside the legal firm, so that to ensure that the mental health of your employees will be well protected by yourself, and you really take their mental health seriously in all material terms. I found that is very important, because I started doing this 2 years ago in my legal team. So the fourth point is I found that even around our legal industry, especially those senior lawyers or even my peers, my age lawyer, I found that we are being too negative, and most of the time we feel like we don't really flexible when information age keep on changing. Like I can share my own experience. It's like 8 years ago, we have William Forens Partners and we have our own Facebook page. At that time, that is still very rare for JB lawyers to do that. And I found that even every time I have gathering or anything, I can hear many voices, negativities from the lawyers group. They will keep on saying that why you try to advertise, you are trying to go against the legal professions publicity rules 2001, right? And the negativities voices, especially from those lawyers, including my peers and those lawyers who are senior than me. I myself at that time still quite a junior lawyer. I myself also feel dissatisfied with this legal industry. I may find that what happens to the people in our industry, how come they are so negative? Why don't they do something free in the social media? Why don't they make use of it to grow the legal professions, to let people know about us? Why we have to static ourselves and rigid ourselves in one particular area? So that's the things that I can pinpoint to you, that we are being too inflexible, and most of the time we indirectly cultivate a very toxic and negative cultures in our legal professions. The fifth point is, many of the lawyers, they weren't really sitting down there how to really do analytics or research in market. Most of the time I can tell that I think that let's say you are one of the lawyers who are practicing right now, that right now, I think that you will be very agree with me in one point is, our marketing strategies is always almost the same majorities right now. The first one is try to slash the price. When you slash the price, I slash the price here, we are creating the Red Sea all the while. So as a young lawyer, if let's say I'm just graduated from university, I myself may feel insecure. I may feel that how come I will make myself to immersed inside the Red Sea. How am I going to survive that? So that is the point, that it's time for us to really sit down to think about what kind of business strategy would be much better than slashing price. Come to my sixth point. My sixth point is basically that I do hope that bathhouses or only one of us who is really have time to be well committed and do something more about mental health and attracted and sit down. Maybe it's a campaign or forums regarding that, how to retain young lawyers, and some of the program is about how to let them feel happy in legal professions. Because right, even when I walk inside a courtroom right now, when I meet anyone senior than me or almost some of them even junior than me, they will start to like keep on telling me how bad is their life, how stressful they are. Oh my gosh, everything is about the negative comments. So I myself sometimes don't even feel wants to go to court, especially when recently they say that the physical court is reopened, and I feel more stressed. Even though I have been practicing for 13 years, I feel really stressful to listen all those negative grumblings, complainings amongst the lawyer. I feel that it's time for us to do something more positive, to show to the public and encourage more people to really see the intrinsic values in legal professions. After I talked about the employer perspective, that I almost gather around 6 points. Let's say you will have more points, for sure I'm willing to listen to all of you, because I do hope that I myself can do some developments and improvement in my hiring process, because I really need talented people to join the teams, right, to make us bigger and stronger. So
you got 2 minutes of my time, and I don't really break too easily, but I'm worth it, 'cause I'll slip into your dreams tonight. Oh.